Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Ratchet and Clank. Last episode we got off Velden, we crash landed on Novalis. We did that section and we did that section. And watching this section back, I realised I don't really know why this section exists except for the off the beaten path gold bolt that we found, you know? Like, it didn't really do anything apart from maybe give us some bolts. Usually in a Ratchet and Clank game, there's a reason for a beaten off path, even if it does end in a platinum bolt or something, like in a Ratchet and Clank Free Planet I did recently. It gives you that reward at the end of a path instead of just being like a hidden thing you find on the way. So that's kind of peculiar. Also, last episode I said I'd be pointing out bugs as I found them, then immediately went to this vendor and forgot to point out the graphical error in the box on the right there, and on the box on the left, to be fair. Those have not been upscaled correctly, as you can see. Anyway, we'll be buying the Pyrocita now. As for the technical issues at the end of the previous episode, or not the end, but during all of it, in terms of the echoey audio, that came about because I have to lean in quite close to my mic for you to get a good quality recording of me, I guess. And well, that also happens to be that my headphones get caught up, so you hear the same audio twice, and there's no real way of fixing it in post apart from messing around with the sound levels. Also, something I noticed which didn't help is that the general quality of the audio in cutscenes is just awful anyway. I don't seem to have any way of fixing that, so my apologies. I do have the subtitles on, and yeah, they did not turn themselves off, that's good to see. But unfortunately my fix didn't work for this episode. Even with my sound turned down to like 2% in my headphones, it still gets picked up by my mic. I think it's just a problem that I don't have a very good mic. However, I do still have several ways of trying to fix it in mind, which I think will work. And I found a new editing trick to make it much less noticeable, especially in cutscenes in this video, so hopefully it's not as bad as episode 1. Thank you for putting up with this. This is definitely the testing ground Let's Play for future Let's Plays at this point. With that in mind, we're just going to continue playing some Ratchet and Clank. I always consider this to be kind of a main path of Novalis, but, you know, it always feels like there's a main path and an off path, and the rewards don't always line up with that. But, you know, I guess that'll be something I'll be bringing up as we go through the planets. What feels like the main path? What feels like the side route? And is that really something that they designed for? Is that something they tried to make happen, or is that just kind of how it went? Now, when I played this game as a kid, I must say, I hardly used the weapons at all. I think I didn't exactly do like a wrench-only run of this game, which I think would be fun. If we get to a point in the far future where we've done Let's Plays of every single Ratchet and Clank game and we want to do more, it might be fun to go back and try and do wrench-only playthroughs and stuff like that. But I pretty much used mostly my wrench in my original playthrough of this as a kid because, again, there's no real point to using your weapons beyond them actually doing damage because there's no upgrade system. And I think this would have been before before I ever played Ratchet and Clank 2 as well. So it's not like I was going, oh, there's no point because there's no XP. It was just how I naturally kind of played the game. I'm trying to remember if there's a bolt around here. No, there's not. But yeah, I would just deal with these guys by going up to them and doing that. And whereas in future Ratchet and Clank games that feels like a bit of a waste, in this one it doesn't, because obviously you're not losing any XP. So also, we will be revisiting Novalis when we have more gadgets. This thing here, as I'm sure anyone who's played this game knows, is some sort of gadget thing, which, if I'm being perfectly honest, I've kind of half forgotten what it does. But there's also a cheeky route in the water up that pipe to the top left there. I believe it's a gold bolt, I'm not entirely sure. So this game does have some extremely light Metroidvania elements to it in terms of coming back for unlocks, which I've always appreciated. I could have sworn there was a gold bolt around here which you needed to preserve boxes to reach, but I guess not. Feel free to leave a comment about how dumb I am for missing the gold bolt or something. But yeah, I'm going to be doing this as a single episode again because I'm trying to figure out if I've solved the echoing problem. It was mostly noticeable, I guess, in cutscenes. Also, the fun thing about me doing Let's Plays is you're going to see, when I do all these audio-only videos where I talk about a topic of conversation for ages, you're going to hear how much I must edit out or do a separate take of in terms of stumbling over my words and being like, Ah, let's do that again. I can't do that in a Let's Play. Or I guess I could, but it'd be a very weirdly edited Let's Play if I did, right? It'd be like, why does he keep cutting the video and going back and redoing separate parts? Oh, I haven't shown a flamethrower yet. Or sorry, the pyrocity. And I'm showing it off very terribly by getting bitten by a robotic bee. You know, I've never really considered the weirdness behind those robotic bees as enemies. Like, why are they here? Who made them? What is their purpose? Something I like about Ratchet and Clank is I seem to notice something new in every playthrough. And you just kind of take the robotic bees for granted, but seriously, like... Oh, I thought there was a gold ball here. I guess not. Oh, maybe that's just in the PS4 game. That's going to confuse me as well, like... It's been a while since I played the PS4 game, so I can't quite remember how they did this level, but maybe there's a gold ball around there in the PS4 version. Or maybe it's around this side. Nope. Okay. I guess my memory is failing me. But yeah, as I was saying... enemies kind of have more of a rhyme and reason to them in like Ratchet and Clank 3, for example. Like with are they called Tyrannoids? I think they're called Tyrannoids. And like how they become different later as the game progresses. But in this, I don't know, you could argue that these robots are like Drek's henchmen to, you know, stop you from stopping him. They're like his security on the planet or whatever. But the robotic bees? Who came up with robotic bees? What's that about?
Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Oh, what are you? Mercenaries? Torturers? Assassins? I'll tell you anything. Here, take my infobot. It's all I've got left.
Sir, we're not assassins.
Hold on. Let's see what he's got.
Has this ever happened to you? Hi, I'm Captain Quark, and believe me, there's nothing worse than staring down a Blargian snagglebeast from the inside and knowing your equipment isn't functioning properly. That's why I come to Al's Robo Shack for all my electronic needs. Al has been the exclusive repair shop for my super electro gadgets since I was knee-high to a sand mouse. If Al can't fix it, it's not broke. Right, Al? You said it, pal. So if you're fighting crime, or just fighting grime, come to Al's Robo Shack in Metropolis for all your robotic repairs. Al's Robo Shack, it's Quarktastic!
Do you know what this means?
Yeah, Captain Quark is really sold out.
No, it means Captain Quark is on Metropolis. We could tell him about this invasion.
If we had a ship.
What? A ship? What? You're not going to torture me? Well, as planetary chairman, I could arrange...
Oh my god, I just realised.
Courier ship.
Cool.
You can count on us, sir.
That's where I got that word from.
Thank you, your chairman shipliness.
I am... Yeah, okay, great. I got told off as a kid because I told my parents I'd tortured them, and they were like, where did you learn that word? It was fucking Ratchet and Clank. It must have been. That is insane. I've only just put that together in this playthrough. That's really funny. Because I was going to say, that's kind of a dark word to put into a kid's game, right? Obviously, I didn't understand what it meant. I think I thought it was, like, something to do with shining a torch on people. You know? That's what you would guess from that word as a kid, anyway. But that's really funny that awakened a memory in me. That's why I love playing these games over and over again. Oh boy. Because every time I play through the game, because I don't play them through very often. I think the last time I played through this game must have been like a couple of years ago now. So I've got new memories associated with them. And that's not a new memory, but still. Oh, I forgot, you have to do this. The vendors get better every game in the trilogy. This is the worst version of them. Alright, so we got a new ship. I always liked the design of this ship. It's just kind of like... If a spaceship was an SUV, it would look like this, you know? I'd love to have like a little toy version of a ship on my desk. Of all Ratchet's ships, actually. Okay, so we're going to start off by going to Outpost Iridia. I think it would be wiser to start off with Metropolis, but Iridia has always been the second planet in my eyes because of the way I did the level, like I mentioned in the previous video. So we're going to do it that way. Now, something that bugs me about these loading screens in the HD trilogy, although it doesn't seem to be the case in this game, or at least in this instance, but in Ratchet & Clank 2 and 3, the sound effects are wrong. for every screen. I've never seen anyone mention it. Maybe it's just because I played the PS2 versions so much as a kid, I noticed it. Maybe they fit if you aren't aware of the PS2 versions. But they play the sound effects out of order in the loading screen in later games in the HD collection, and it never doesn't bug me. That's really good construction of sentence, I know. Look, there's a gold ball over there. We'll be able to get that later, but not right now. Because we don't have something that we're going to get in call on. I don't know how much to give away and how much to say outright. We're going to go this path first. Feels like the main path. Oh, actually, that's a fun bit of trivia. I don't think I knew the other path on this planet existed for a long time. Like, this blew my mind that this area existed, because I don't think you get anything essential from it, so I just never did it. Either that, or, as we'll talk about later, in like my original playthrough of this game, I didn't get very far through the planets, because I got stuck on, I think it's called Drek's flagship or something. It's like the 5th level, I think, after Eudora. And I got stuck on that, and I always thought that was the final level. I guess we're talking about it now, but I'll bring it up again later. I always thought that was the final level of the game, and boy was I wrong. And you might think, Christian, why would you think the game would be so short? But it's just because, you know, as a kid I didn't think about things like that. In all honesty, the Ratchet and Clank games never felt that short to me. Only in retrospect, when I compare them to other games I play, because I like RPGs and stuff, now they feel kind of short. But I guess it's because it's an action game, and every moment is like fraught with danger. I want to say, no, you know what I mean now. But yeah, as I was kind of saying, and I interrupted myself. I'm not sure how much I want to spoil, because while I can't see anyone watching this playthrough without having played the game themselves, I don't know, I have a friend who's never played these games, so he might be watching these. So yeah, maybe I should keep some stuff under wraps. While this is a retrospective playthrough, I'm not gonna spoil. Like, Ratchet and Clank is a hard game to spoil. By the way, this is why you should go to Metropolis before you go to Iridia, because this is an optional path that we can't do right now. Yeah, I've never suggested that Ratchet and Clank is like the most plot-heavy game. Like, if you get spoiled on a small plot point, it's not like the end of the world or anything. But you know, it's nice to leave some surprises, right? I was about to list an example in like a Legend of Zelda game, and then I thought, wait, that would be spoiling it. So, first-person mode for you, sir. Oh, I love the sound effect when they die. You know, it occurs to me that this level would just be easier in general. Oh, that's satisfying to watch every time. All the bolts. It occurs to me it would be easier in general if I just did Metropolis first. But, oh well. Oh well, this is the way I did it as a kid, so this is the way I'm doing it here. But yeah, Iridia. I want to talk about the planet, Iridia. This, I think, is potentially my favourite planet in Ratchet and Clank 1. Even though it's like the second planet, right? I love the theme. It's just so like well, I don't know if it's unique per se, but it's so well done. Just like it's kind of dark, but it's funky at the same time. I don't know. Funky wasn't a word I planned on using to describe it, but just kind of came out. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like, I don't know. It's just cool, and I've always been a fan of that gold bolt in the middle of the level, and I've got that nice memory about discovering that optional side venture in a future playthrough. Like, I've just got lots of happy memories of this level, I guess. We don't have a blaster yet, so unfortunately, I guess we've just used a flamethrower, but it's kind of annoying to like... Oh, is that how you use the pyrostor? Thank you, game. I had no idea. Thank God you're here to tell me. But yeah, I'm impatient, so we're just gonna blow this up. I'm also a little concerned about the fact that we got a time limit, and if I save a level halfway through and then quit, I'm going to be starting basically from the beginning. So I don't know, maybe these videos won't be strictly 20 minutes long each, eh? Maybe I'll try and do them up until the end of the latest segment I've taken on. That's probably what I'll do. But just generally speaking, oh, do I have to do that? There we go. Just generally speaking, I'll probably try and keep them around 20 minutes long. Just in terms of like... Oh, and I guess when I'm recording more than one episode at a time, it'll be different as well, actually. So maybe forget everything I just said. But like, because I'm just doing this one as a one-off episode to test the sound levels and make sure everything's working okay, you know, can't really exit out mid-game. But yeah, the music here is great as well. Going back to I Love Iridia, the entire soundtrack of Ratchet and Clank 1 I think is kind of unmatched in the PS2 trilogy. It's got a unique feel to it, and while I do really like Ratchet and Clank 2 and 3, I think they're slightly different in terms of soundtrack.
No signal whatsoever. This downtime is killing me.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
Don't be so literal, son. The problem is I'm stranded on this backwater planet and my star client is nowhere to be found.
Hey, we saw you on that info bot. You're Skid's agent.
Was Skid's agent. I haven't seen him since our ship crashed. And an agent without a client is like a flea without a dog. Say, you look like an athletic kid. If you can bring back the championship prize from the hoverboard races in Blackwater City, I'll make you my next star.
We have no time for trivial matters, sir.
I could be the next Skid McMarks.
Yeah, Ratchet's a lot more selfish in this game, huh? So, yeah, basically you do this entire pathway. I forgot about this. You do this entire pathway just to be told, cool, come back later. They get a lot better at that in later games, I think. But yeah, there's also these suspicious looking platforms here that if we try and run up now, nothing happens. I was hoping I could kind of like get there early by like wall jumping, but I guess not. But what kind of playthrough would this be if I just did it out of order and used exploits and stuff? So yeah, you've got these cool little drill things that transport you from area to area. I kind of like that it's just full of mud as well around the area too. But yeah, you know, now that I think about it, was this level in the remake? I'm not sure if it was. I feel like I'd remember if they remade this level. It feels like I didn't play the remake that long ago, but I guess I did? Okay, I can't really do another area without going over time, but you know what, sod it, let's do it anyway. Let's just go over time, it's a one-off recording, who cares?
It's him, Skid McMarks.
That man from the infobot.
In the flesh, little dude. You guys get a load of that epic space battle I was in?
We saw you, screaming for help.
That was like a war cry. My agent and I got ambushed on the way to hoverboard practice.
Did he survive the crash, sir?
He's okay, but I've had a little trouble getting back to my ship due to my sprained ankle.
Oh, come on.
If you can take out all the sand sharks, I just might have a spare hoverboard for you.
We'd love to help you, Mr. McMarks, but Ratchet and I need to find Captain...
One of your boards? I've always wanted a decent hoverboard. Well, alright. You just keep that foot elevated.
That's right. The world, the galaxy may be in imminent peril, but it's fine. We'll let a few more planets get destroyed by Drek before we help, because we gotta get a cool new hoverboard, right? Anyway, sorry. I led you astray. I'm not going to do this section right now because we are about to hit the 20-minute mark. You already knew that. You looked at the video time when I was talking about this and you were like, what the hell's he talking about? This isn't 25 minutes long. But anyway, before I go, one thing I do want to mention is talking through cutscenes. I'm trying to hit a balance of not talking through cutscenes but also making comments when things stand out to me. I don't know. Let me know if you would rather I just stayed completely silent during cutscenes or whatever. If this was more of a story-driven game, I would absolutely stay 100% silent through cutscenes. But I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I should maybe just keep my trap shut. But I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this episode of Ratchet and Clank. Again, I'm very excited to be doing this. Oh, here we go. If I do this, that makes a good thumbnail, doesn't it? See, I'm making my thumbnails live, on the fly. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next episode.